Welcome to the Arizona Wildcat Show, brought to you by Fry's Food Stores. Arizona basketball coach Sean Miller met with the media on Tuesday and talked about a number of topics, including why the Wildcats are so improved on offense lately. Here's what he had to say.
Have you had a team like this offensively, even Xavier, that could do this offense because you're more known for defense?
You know what's amazing is last year we were so good on defense, and really the last 2 years, and some of the scores weren't as high because of that we weren't known to be very good on offense. We were better in each of the last 2 years on offense than we are this year.
Categories?
You pick it. 2 years ago when Nick Johnson was here, we were such a poor free throw shooting team that inevitably that did us in a number of ways. But if you look up that team, who would be known about defense, because I think we were maybe the nation's best. If we were a better free throw shooting team, points per game, everything, we would have been unreal. Last year, we were much better. We played at a fast pace, and we scored. Once we got into the Pac-12 season, you know, part of why we were 16-2 last year is our offense became prolific. I mean, we scored. You have to remember this year, part of why the points per game are up is there's additionally 4 possessions per game, I think, across the board. Scoring's up. I saw something today about 5 points per game, which is significant. And so it's tough to compare this year to last. And I'm not at all saying that this year's team offensively, I think we can keep getting better. You know, losing Alonzo and scoring the points we did this weekend shows you the capability, the balance, the togetherness that we have. And I think we can be an outstanding offensive team. But the last 2 years, our offense probably doesn't get nearly as much credit because we were known for the defense, and the score of the game wasn't as high.
I was just following up on that, sorry, that you're averaging 93 points in Pac-12. I mean, does that number, even considering what you're saying, kind of surprise you?
Yeah, it does. It really surprised me. And if you look at the tempo of the teams we played so far, they are incredibly fast. I mean, Washington and Washington State, you're talking about in those 2 games in 3 days when you play them, whoever plays them, both teams are playing at breakneck speed. And, you know, the way we can play, that's not a bad thing for us. We like to play fast as well. But so you have that plus a 4 overtime game against USC. So, you know, the game's in the hundreds there. If it stopped in regulation, although I think it ended in the 80s, that favors a couple things. One, again, remember, everybody's scoring about 5 points per game more. And USC would be really up there as well. USC, not only do we play a 4 overtime game against them and on their court, they push the ball at a frenetic pace. Those 3 teams of the 5 we played are the fastest in our conference, so I think that's part of why scoring's up. Stanford doesn't do that as much, and neither does Cal. It will be interesting to see, you know, the scores of those games. No, we have a more skilled team, no question. Like Mark Tollison, for example, I think from an efficient perspective, if you look at his numbers in the Pac-12, you know, he's shooting the ball with more confidence. I mean, his 2-point field goal percentage has been outstanding. I made this comment a number of times, like he doesn't get enough credit for how efficient he's been for our team from 2. You know, 2-point field goal by him is maybe our team's best shot. And then now he's shooting good 3-point shots. He's making them. I think he's 80% from the line. He really takes care of the ball. So you think about Mark playing more minutes, that really helped. And against the Washingtons, you know, Parker came into the game and had 18 assists and 3 turnovers. So if you get somebody with 18 assists and 3 turnovers and 50 minutes, not 80 minutes, but 50 about. Again, he played at a very efficient pace, but I think both of those guys, from an offensive perspective, you know, brought a lot to the table this weekend, and we're optimistic and also hopeful that they can continue that.
So it's interesting between that and like you said, offensive rebounding, individual skills like Mark's helping you score. It's not like you pressed a button and changed your philosophy drastically.
No, we didn't change hardly anything, for sure. We didn't. And you know how it is. The one thing you just have to be careful about, next week we could be talking about how we really struggle with scoring. I mean, it can leave in a hurry, and it happens especially on the road in great conferences. I mean, and I just, you know, we talked a lot about the parity in some of these other conferences, and it's true. They've had great conferences top to the bottom, and you see some of the top-heavy teams losing back-to-back games or having a hard time to string road wins together. This year in the Pac-12, that's kind of who we've become as a conference.
Try this matchup. Low prices and faster checkout. You can count on it at Fry's.